My name is Rahul Bhandari, and the topic for today that I am going to talk about, and on a Sunday evening, I'm going to make sure that I do not bore you, as I try my best to do justice to your time and to whatever I say, is about coming back to life. This topic is very, very important and close to my heart, because every now and then I realize this is what has always brought me back. This sentence, this word. I would also like to mention this is not my own coin, this is a song by a group called Pink Floyd, so I've listened to it a lot. The story that I'm going to narrate to, or the session that I'm going to start with, is about the story of a young kid, a young boy. And this picture starts, this presentation starts with that young boy sitting in his class, 4th standard, and drawing something on his drawing book or exercise book. Whereas this is supposed to be a free period for the rest of him. The teacher walks in to see there's only one kid sitting, scribbling something on the page, on the exercise book, and what does he actually want to do? And he sees that young kid is drawing an aircraft. Sorry, not in the habit of doing this. And this young kid is making an aircraft. And she asks that this is supposed to be a free period, what are you doing here? And this young kid says to the teacher that I'm making a thought plan about what I'm going to do in the future.
Wow.
What I want to do for myself as a future when I grow up. Well, ideally, I would recommend him to a psychiatric evaluation that, a kid in 4th standard thinking about that, something majorly wrong with that kid. Take him to the doctor. But, well, as they say, that kid is actually the self-proclaimed hero of the story, so we can't negate that. You have to live with it and you have to listen to that kid. So, the idea is this thought, this very thought of what I want to become started up very early in this kid. And he wanted to make sure that he has 3 of these very important points to his life. Stars, which is space, travel, heaven, and something that included everything was adventure. So he found his understanding that becoming a pilot would be the closest thing to do all of that. When you're flying about 50,000 feet above the ground, you're the closest to stars, you're closest to heaven. I'm sorry, but this is all adventure rolled up into one. So that was his journey. This is all when it started. In the school days, everything that he has ever done, everything that he ever wanted to do was just to become a commercial pilot, nothing else. There was nothing else, there's no reason, no purpose. Food, travel, exercise, education, books, friends, everything, you name it, was selected because there was only one target of life. One aim, one goal. This is all I ever wanted to do, is to fly. And then how he was crazy as can be. And eventually over the years, he did become a commercial pilot. He did complete his 400 hours in a couple of aircrafts. He did get his license done. But you see, life don't work as best as you predict it to be. You don't write a script for life on your story. That story is written by somebody else for you already. But you just have to play. This kid was inducted into Sahara Airlines, and he was enjoying the moment that, okay, now it is there. I just won my first 2 stars. But as I said, the life don't go according to what your whims and fancies are, what you ever predicted. Succession of events happened that was a test of time for his mettle. It was a test of time for everything in life, So I'm going to give you the major events, and you'll assess that how, the turning point of a life happens for a person. The journey takes a twist. The first major hamper that happened was that 3 of his very close friends met with plane crashes in 2 different parts of the world. One died with Mother of Sindhya. If you remember, a minister from Congress died in a plane crash. The co-pilot of that aircraft, that kid's batchmate. Then 2 more friends passed away in a sortie in Florida. So, when somebody this close who comes to family every now and then, who's coming to staying over, family, friends, eating out, staying and dining and everything. The family took a real jolt about the fact that this is also the alternative reality of becoming a pilot. You know, when you're flying at the speed of 700 kilometers per hour at the height of 50,000 feet, you realize that you're not close to Earth, and you're traveling way too fast than your body can handle. So my mother took a major setback of this on her health. She suffered a brain hemorrhage because of this. Now you understand that this is all going too traumatic. You're losing 3 friends, very close people, and subconsciously also realize, yeah, there is a element of danger. But then that danger was always known. I mean, that was the adventure aspect of it. The silver lining or the dark lining of the adventures is that it is risky. But then I guess that's how crazy boys are. That's exactly why they want to do it. But now the situation was completely different and out of the hand. A family get together, a family meeting happened when she recovered, not fully, but partially recovered to get out of the hospital. And the decision was taken that, you know, it has to go. You can do whatever in your life. You can start a business, you can start a job, whatever, but you cannot be a pilot. But I think for that kid, the decision was more so. It was this kid's decision that he wants to leave something very important for someone far more important than himself. And if you ask me, or rather if I ask you, do you think that decision makes sense? Do you think that made sense?
Yeah, of course.
Well, me being that kid also feels the same, that I did not do a wrong decision. I did a right decision. And you know, having said that, this was not gallantry. There's no gallantry here. I'm telling you. In the moment, you take a decision. And I'm being very honest, candid about it, that, you know, in all the midst of the turmoil and in the middle of the storm, you do take decisions. But then, when the storm settles, and then you realize the gravity of this decision that you've taken, something all your life you've dreamed, you want to live by it. The only thing that you ever wanted to do was, the second skin would be a pilot's uniform, and probably just want to have your aviators, and you walk down to an aircraft every day. That was totally Top Gun. But that's what it is. But then the gravity of the situation came in then, when you have to look for a job which is far more, I would not say less, but then comparatively what you were dreamt of. So all your friends are commercial pilot, and you're the only one who would go join a call center. Now imagine you want to be a commercial pilot one day, and the next day it's a complete turnaround of life. You become a call center agent. Not only socially but personally, and in terms of your friend circle as well. This is not a very conducive or a happy feeling that you will have. This is something which pierces you right through your heart, and you know how it hurts. Then this transformation. And when you're at your peak, and when you're at your most vulnerable, is when the negative starts to seep in. The best of the negative opportunities gets into you. It gets to you, and you start to follow probably call it the dark path of life. And then you make all the wrong friends, all the wrong choices. And all of those things were there in my life. It was purely everyday part of my life. So I would go to work, do my work, and after that I would try to escape from life. I would do everything that would not remind me of who I always wanted to be, how I became somebody, and then there was a sharp fall that happened. So I would say that somewhere down the line, I was not even happy with what was going on. Then came, I think I'm very, my gratitude towards nature, my gratitude towards my parents, who did not ever give up on me. Trust me, for a good one and a half years, I was one of those saddest, craziest people possible who were at the brink of highest order of frustration. Just that I did not turn green. Everything else was there. So I was not turning green, but the beauty of me was that I was always angry. All the time angry with what am I doing? This is not what I wanted to do in my life. And then one fine day I had an opportunity. I had to look at myself and ask myself, what am I doing and what is happening? Is this what I always wanted to do? Was flying more important? Or what flying does to me is more important? And then I realized flying was just a medium. to get to what I always wanted to do. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to simplify life. I wanted to do things that excite me the most. So if I'm not dead, which I'm not, then was also not, then if I lost flying, that does not mean I've lost a major chunk of my life already. So what I realized is that the real purpose of my life was to stay excited, stay happy, simplify life, simple things of life. So I realized that if one medium, which was flying, got its door closed, I can find another way to get to the same point. So for me, there was a major transition that started to happen, which was all roads of my life now onwards would lead towards what I always wanted to do, was to stay excited, to stay happy, to find peace in life. Then I finally found out that there is not just one road to it, and you should not give up in life. The best thing in life is to always remember what you always wanted to do and not confuse yourself with the gimmicks of life. I realized what I wanted to do is to find passion. I struggled for myself again. It was not easy, but now I was happy that I'm going to go back to the track that I always wanted. I'm very happy about it. Now after about 12 years, I am standing in front of you and I'm talking to you. It was not an easy path, and I assure you it is not. But it's a very fulfilling process. I'm very happy that I've gone through the process and I'm standing right here and talking to you guys about it. So always remember a few things. Not going to do any gyan, especially on a Sunday. But I will definitely tell you one thing is that don't lose that one string of hope, no matter how heavy the balance is on the other end. Your possibilities are endless, you don't know it yet. So you just have to look into yourself, then look outside. So whatever that you're looking for, whatever your answers, whatever the reasons, it is always inside. Stop looking outside. All of the answers are right here. It's within you. Just look into yourself, and I'm sure you'll find all your answers and all the peace that you're looking for. I think that should be about it.